Greetings, my Dragonborn and Dragonborn. This is Dragonborn, Drinking Sage. I think get the memo, and as always, if you like what you saw, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell, and definitely share. Will help out a lot. So, anyways, I do humbly apologize that I just probably sound like I just freaking woken up, and why not? So, anyways, here I did do this at least from yesterday's stream, as you probably end up. If you watch that one, then you kind of already know about at least here at least in my opinion, at least today. So, yep, it's getting right into the freaking price hike.
And here we go.
And I will be reading from here from the official website of this. I'm going to leave the article link description below. And yes, I actually have done most of my own, tapes and stuff like that way before, before I just stopped using my secondary channel and private. Anyways, the ROG Ally prices are finally revealed. Pre-orders are now live. It's about time. Yeah. Update. February 26, September 2025, 5 o'clock, 5:33 a.m. You might not want to wait around too long for your interest on these. Stock of Ally X in particular are the same. Seems to sell out. Oh, really? No shit. Because here's the scalpers already freaking doing their fucking thing already. Even though, anyways, but yes, it's been out, and as usual, you're probably saying, "Oh, well, you can do this." So, but yep, let's just go ahead and get this one at least out first, because I just figured at least lump it all in together. Yes, I do apologize. I promise you, we'll definitely get into the prices, but I want to get the at least Xbox Ally ROG out first, because I'm going to tie that into the Xbox. All right. So, anyways, here you go again. Original story is to finally happen. Pre-order of the Xbox Ally handheld has officially begun in 38 countries around the world, and the prices are finally being revealed as those pre-orders go live. Let's break down prices first, shall we? Here's the prices of the original Xbox Ally, and I'm going to end up showing you at least a picture of each fucking one. But the one that I'm going to have to focus in here is the freaking United States one. The $600 for the Xbox Ally price. And you're like, okay, maybe that's a little bit under the Steam Deck. Okay, that's fine. I give you at least that opinion. But let's look on to the other fucking one, which I do give Steam the credit. $999.99, or at least a fucking grand. Look me in the eyes and tell me how the fuck is this okay? Like, seriously, how the fuck is this okay? Now, again, I don't know anywhere else in the Australia, so I do apologize. Or Australia, United Kingdom, Europe, Canada, and of course I did mention Australia, so I do apologize about that. But no, just fucking no. No, 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 and no. And yes, I've been saying fucking goddamn no, because guess what? If it's just the exact same damn fucking price of the Xbox, not the Xbox, excuse me. If it is the exact same price as the ROG Ally, but just a little bit different specs, and just slap in a Xbox type logo on it and push a button, but I don't know, that may happen so that we can play your Xbox games. Apologies, I had a burp there. But anyways, and just you can play Steam games and your own freaking games as well as your Xbox. No, it's not fucking worth it. Still, even worth the 600, still it's not goddamn worth it at most. Because if it's just the same specs, which I'm showing you up right now, at least as far as I know, here is all at least the specs, and this is from the 2024 version of the ROG Ally that you could probably at least find. Can you fucking tell me how in the hell is this fucking good? Just look me in the eyes and just tell me how is it fucking good when even though Steam Decks has already been doing this. Hell, even PC players have been already doing this far along. Alright, that was enough, and I wanted to just get this at least out of the way. Don't worry, I'll definitely get, that was just at least, I'll give you the meat. The potatoes is both between the prices of the PlayStation and the Xbox Series, or wherever the case that's from. That's like 5 gen of the Xbox, so let's get into that one, alright? Alright, and this is from a screenshot, at least from what I can take. And yes, this is from Microsoft's freaking, probably it's on Microsoft's official website. But anyways, Microsoft is raising the prices of consoles yet again in the US due to changes of the whatever case environment. The Series S from $379 to $399. The Series X from $599 to $649. The Series X in digital form $549 to $599. And here's the one that's a really goddamn kicker. Although if I do have another picture of it, but it's like the Galaxy one. But the 2 terabyte Series X from $729 goes up to $799. But if you want the Galaxy one, it's like at least $800 damn dollars. Oh, don't get me started. I'm getting on freaking PlayStation's ass as well, because here's a picture of that one, as you probably can pick up. So again, and here is PlayStation as well. Sony has announced that it will raise the prices from its PlayStation gaming console in the US starting from August 21st, 2025. The price increase of tribute to changing economic environment as an effect of the 3 major PS5 models. Excuse me. The new prices are following. The PS5 digital goes up. Excuse me. The digital edition is $500 from $450. PlayStation 5. I think this one's just like the original, up from $550, up from $500. And here's this one, the PS5 Pro, $750, up from $700. You know what? Here, I'm gonna play a clip right here because I'm about to lose freaking brain cells with this.
Are you fucking stupid?
Yes, I'm very quite aware. This is just, well, they could probably just do it and they'll be fine because he did it, or whatever the fucking goddamn excuse that the fanboys would probably be coming over here and just start coping and seething about sex and damn shit. This ain't about your fucking fee-fees about you shilling for the companies. This is for the people that cannot fucking keep up with the demands and shit. Alright? This is just my honest takes, and this is like a new thing I'm going ahead and do. This is why I'd rather say, and I do agree with people, to go with either get a Steam Deck or save up the money and build up a PC. And don't worry, we'll definitely get into the Steam Deck, since I know it's going to be at least a little bit more cheaper, and you'll still get a little bit more better freedom with the Steam Deck. And I have a gut feeling, maybe I'm going ahead and just freaking say this and all this. For right now, I bet you're going to still be locked behind an ecosystem with the Xbox, Ally, ROG, Strux, whatever you want to call the thing. But most of all, I can definitely see it coming, like at least for a mile, because I know that's how most people probably would see, at least per how long this may go. So anyways, here is the, well, at least when I took the screenshot, and probably at least while I am editing, like I'm trying to say, here is the prices at least from the LCD all the way to the 1 terabyte with the screen. So I want you to at least take at least a better look at that. So there you go, just in case if you are very interested. But yes, I know a few people already got one, and I am one of them myself, since I actually gotten it for my 31st birthday to myself, because guess what, I know how much people have been enjoying it, and how much they've been most of all just been playing around with it. And now I completely understand why, because the fact is I can at least enjoy here's a thought, not just all about my Steam games, I can also enjoy emulation and so on and so forth. Because guess what? Yes, I understand the price is up there. Yes, I also understand the price of, most of all, how things go. And yes, before I forget, yes, I'm quite aware about Nintendo Switch 2 being way too overpriced. Even though I already said that, and yet the freaking Nintendo drones freaking tried to do a stupid take on me. Even though, it's quite stupid. But anyways, that being said, it's just, in my personal opinion, like I probably would after I said, you know, because I do have a Steam Deck, I'll probably end up showing you at least 2 pictures. I actually put it in a 2 terabyte, which is a crucial 2 terabyte into at least my main Steam Deck, storage. And of course, then I actually have another one, which is just 1 terabyte for at least emulation, just for whatever games I want to play. And yes, all my games are legally backed up. So that way, so if anybody asks me, yes, it's legally backed up. But anyways, here's a video. I know it's probably like 4 weeks old, but I did want to throw this one in here because of how awesome this is and how much, in my personal opinion, is. And I'm just gonna get to most of the points of my point of interest. I'm gonna leave Jerry Marsh Jr. I do apologize if I butchered your name wrong. If you're watching this, I do humbly apologize. But I just want to at least mention this right now. He did an excellent video about the Steam Deck and is it possible about the 2025? Are you going to be a little bit late? My simple answer is no. You don't have to worry because I know there's a few others. So anyways, here is the video, and I'll definitely, put my own 2 takes in here. So anyways, here it is.
We are more than halfway through the year, and already the handheld market is flooded with new devices. Before the year ends, there will be a couple more released with even more powerful chipsets like the Z2 Extreme, making it so these handhelds will be pushing the potential when it comes to gaming on the go.
Yes, this is actually one of the good points, and yes, I know this is like probably at least right now 4 weeks ago, and yes, there's a few other ones, and now since we have Xbox Ally on the way, shall we say, which is still another spend, even though the fucking goddamn price is still not fucking worth it. I know I'm probably just talking to myself at most, but I know a few people probably know. But yes, and he does make a good point right there, and I do want to at least mention about that because again, there are a few other handhelds in the market, and probably most of all, you gotta give it to the Steam Deck here and there, because at most, it's been really I won't say shifted or transformed, but more like still shifting. But anyways, let's go ahead and continue, shall we? And yes, if the Vita 2.5 or whatever the case is from Sony that will be coming around, we'll definitely see about ahead of time. But anyways, I just want to make this a little bit more point right here. So anyways, let's get on into the other one, like I was trying to say. Anyways, here is the continuing of the point here.
But where does that leave the Steam Deck? And more importantly, if you have not purchased a gaming handheld yet, is it too late to buy yourself a Steam Deck?
No.
This is a loaded question, and one I feel many Steam Deck fanboys will flat out tell you, yeah, you should just buy yourself a Steam Deck. But there are a lot of reasons for and against this decision, which would make anyone new to the handheld hobby a bit confused and overwhelmed. I too was once in your shoes, researching these devices for hours a day, comparing one to the other based on what they could and couldn't do.
Yeah, and that is an excellent good point about there. And yes, and I know that was like me throwing shade. That was actually no, it was just my honest thoughts of saying, no, it's not too late to get a Steam Deck in 2025. So I just want to make that abundantly clear, alright? And yes, what he just said about doing your research is just the same thing with PC gaming. You got to do your research before you do what you want out of something while you invest. That's just the way to go. And yes, even I was in the exact same shoes before. So I can understand why most people would probably want to know, like, is it too late or is it? And yes, even though the Steam Deck is pretty old, but I think it's still good, at least all the way until, whenever they decided to, because at least for right now, since I know officially Valve has already said, like, no, we don't have anything planned for at least making the new Steam Deck until more tech already involves with it. So basically, of saying we don't have anything planned right now, but maybe give us a few more years, maybe like 2026 at most, probably no later than 2029. And that if that's the case, that's awesome. I know probably Jeremy already explained this later in the video. I will have his video link description below before I forget. And if I didn't mention that in this video, I do apologize. It's going to be in the description below. And it's a good video. I would recommend you just to go ahead and watch it. But anyways, here is a little bit more of the video right here.
At that time, I had just built a very powerful gaming PC, so I wasn't looking to take heavier games like Destiny 2 on the go. I wanted something I could put ROMs on and just jump into Worms Armageddon for the Dreamcast. And that's exactly what the Steam Deck can do. The Steam Deck is now a few years old. In fact, it's starting to look ancient compared to these newer handhelds. So if you were worried about purchasing an outdated device, you have every reason to be hesitant to pick one up.
Well, also, and don't forget before I forget to mention here, and yes, I'm quite aware of there has been some other games about at least this, and most of all, probably most people pick up their game, their Steam Deck or Windows handheld, which I switch over to the Steam Deck with the Linux because I was getting fucking goddamn tired with Microsoft's BS with Windows with the spyware. That's why I went with at least the Steam Deck myself, and I also was wanting giving Linux a try, even though I had a Linux, I think it was the GNOME version, like way back then, that was just mostly of I would want to say at least it was like kind of in that era of mostly where Linux was still just the young dog, nothing hidden gem at the time. And yes, there is a difference between at least some games and some other ones as well, because I'm going to go ahead and just mention this right now, as you probably mostly going to ask. There is a difference. If you just want to play all your games, even the AAA games, go ahead and go get a Windows handheld version. Or if you just want to play most of the games and still have emulation and you're still into indie, pick up a Steam Deck. Because that's how I've been kind of playing my Steam Deck. It's just most of all, it's just with emulation, at least some of these, most of them of my back end library is mostly from at least old AAA games. Like, Shadow Mordor is another one that you can probably almost play mostly indie. And of course, retro, like I've been mentioning here as well, because guess what? That's how I've been mostly playing on my Steam Deck. Like Silksong, Hollow Knight, those are at least a few from at least indie games. I know I don't have Die for Dave, but I know that's another one. There's like other points, there's always pros and cons as well. So, and if you do your research, what you want and what you don't want, you can probably at least understand a little bit more. Anyways, here's the rest of the video. But I do understand about his side about being a little bit more hesitant about this. But if you just watch some reviews before you do, and do your research, I think you'd be personally fine. But anyways, on to the video.
But I'm here to tell you, now is the best time to buy a Steam Deck, even if there are way better options out there. Currently, there are multiple Windows gaming handhelds available on the market. They will cost you upwards of $1,000 and will take you hours to get up and running because you are setting up Windows 11, which means installing and updating drivers, as well as personalizing it to your liking, blah, blah, blah. This is where the advantages of buying a Steam Deck comes into play. The Steam Deck was released with 3 storage options and 1 OLED model at different price points, all under $600.
And yes, I know this is just me going to sound like a fucking shell of the Steam Deck, but guess what? I have at least enjoyed it. And like, Jerry Meechan, I do apologize, but just Jerry Jr. just said, between at least like a Windows handheld and a Steam Deck, that was a good point. And as you probably end up seeing right there, and like I said, the prices for at least earlier in this video, you probably end up seeing was at least a little bit more different. yes, I get it. It is a lot to upfront, but I promise you, once you do invest in and once you do your research, I promise you, you will have a good time. And there are, like I said, there are pros and cons, and like you said about the Windows handhelds, there is some that just has pros and cons to everything. Also, don't forget to mention, if you want to maybe work on your Steam Deck, you can do that. Since I know at least Steam Deck with iFixit, partnering with them, they can at least most of all freaking have the parts that you need. Like maybe you want to upgrade your SSD. I know there's a video like that because I did that. And if you want to replace your screen, there's a video for that. But I don't trust myself with it as much, so I may go up to a repair shop if you choose to. And if you don't want to do that way, that's perfectly fine too. So I just want to at least mention about this one.
I was cheap and bought myself a 64 gig refurbished Steam Deck and swapped out the storage for 1 terabyte SSD that I got from Amazon for like $80. The swap was extremely easy, and altogether this cost me less than the 500 gig Steam Deck, making it a steal. Also, Valve personally refurbishes these handhelds, so when I got mine, it was like a brand new device and it came with the case. And it also did not smell like somebody was dead in their apartment for months at a time. Compared to a Windows handheld, this Steam Deck runs on SteamOS, hands down the best operating system optimized for a gaming handheld device. You just turn this bad boy on and are immediately at your games library. And it has the ability of cloud saving, so you could pick up your games exactly where they left off when you were playing them on your computer. You can also put the device to sleep when you need to run outside to grab your Chinese food you ordered, and when you turn it back on, you don't have to restart the game like you would on a Windows handheld.
Yes, there are other good points, and I think that's where I'm going ahead and just end it there, because I know if I'm going to say it, I'm going to just repeat myself. But anyways, an excellent video. I definitely would rather put that in the link description below. For if you're just very overall curious, I'll definitely make sure to link that video in the link description below. Like I'm trying to say, I don't know why my freaking brain was going freaking rada mode all of a sudden. But anyways, is it too late to get a Steam Deck? Here's my answer.
No.
And there's your answer. And is it worth the freaking prices of Nintendo plus on Xbox Ally plus the their freaking €5 console? Definitely no. I just don't see the point of that, and I know I can see where people probably the fanboys, well, you can defend this, so why aren't you not defending that? Because at least I'm looking at least for the consumer, at most. And here's the thing is too, you can build up a pretty damn powerful PC, like Jerry just mentioned, And most of all, you could probably maybe save up. All you gotta do is just do a little bit of research, and I promise you, you will enjoy this freaking ride. I promise you, you will. Because I know how much the freaking scarcity is out there. Yes, it sounds like I'm a shill. And there are some downsides, like I said, since I can't play all my other AAA games, and some other games I cannot play with the Steam Deck as well. So, that being said, I'm probably going to go ahead and end it here. And like I said, I'll leave down Jeremy Meechan's Jr. But anyways, just Jerry, I do apologize for butchering the last name again. I know you're probably cringing about this. If you're watching this, I do humbly apologize. Great points, great animation. I do love so much about how you took on that. So I just want to give some proper praise about that. And yes, any handheld has their own ups and downs, no matter which way. And most of all, like the Steam Deck, the downsides is the anti-cheat, because most of them probably there's just no way to work around that. Plus, not all AAA titles is going to freaking work on the Linux version, since it's open source, and most people don't know how to set that up. Or there's still going to be a lot more works. Freaking rada brain, stop it. There's still probably work on a few workarounds, or maybe all, since And yes, the Steam Deck is pretty old since from what I recall, it's 2023, but still, I think you will have a good one. Although, before I forget, there is some recommendations if you choose to get a Steam Deck. Depending on which version, and like Jerry just said, you can get a refurbished one if you really don't want to pay for that. Right now, from what I saw, they haven't been, at least have a few in stock. Maybe they just haven't at least released them yet. Because I know probably some may want to get a refurbished, 1 terabyte, Steam Deck OLED, which I have the OLED for like 520, and that's just ballparking right there, just because of shipping and handling, because depending on where you go. But anyways, just like I said, just do your research, and I promise you would do. And yes, you can definitely, for those who've been saying get a Steam Deck or get a PC, just save up just to get a PC in general. Just know, I do not agree with Sony's stance of the PlayStation 5. I've increased. I'm glad I gave my friend my used PlayStation 5 because I don't want him to pay $750 for a fucking goddamn. I just don't want to see him paying $750 for that's barely 2 freaking generations behind on PC. And yes, I do stand behind that because it's just been actually truth right there. Because guess what? PC's really been ahead of the game way before the consoles. But anyways, and on top of that, I don't see the point of increasing the prices again, Microsoft, with your damn €5 consoles either. And now with the Xbox One X, I'm glad I kind of waited a little bit. Yes, I know I went on a little bit of a salty rant, but I do try to keep this at least semi-salty or semi-heated because this is like my honest takes in here and there. But anyways, I hopefully you do enjoy the video. Just a short answer on the Xbox Ally, no. Is it worth it? No. For the price, their asking price, no. Is it worth the Xbox price increase? No. Is it worth the PlayStation one? No. Is it worth the Nintendo one? No. Is it worth to save up for a PC? Yes. Is it worth to get a Steam Deck? That's honestly up to you. Exact same thing. Do your research on anything that you do. That's just my honest take. But anyways, get it. I know I forgot again. But if you ever do get a Steam Deck or any handheld, get an external battery, get a cover case, and if I know about at least there's a few that would have like a different carrying case, but I would prefer getting like a different carrying case. That way you can have your accessories. Maybe you want your eternal battery on you because guess what? Maybe you want to play a little bit more than like say 2 hours. Well, you have external battery. Don't forget the Steam Deck or your handheld. Excuse me. In general, maybe some few outboards. Possible as well with the if you want to use it like a mouse or keyboard, mouse and keyboard on your Steam Deck or your handheld in general, because I know a few has already set that up. You can do that. Those are just my recommendations, and this is where I am calling it. I know this video is very long. I do humbly apologize. I just figured it'd be nice just to throw in my fucking 2 cents. Also, please don't buy the scalped Xbox Ally. Please don't. You are wasting your fucking money. And I know the scalpers, because like I said earlier in this video, it's not worth for at least $250. Because I know it, and somebody else who at least can see this goes, no, it's not even remotely close to what a scalper wants, because I know how much, hopefully, I'm knocking on wood, that Microsoft gets their head out of their ass and not be charging more and going to the exact same scalper price, because like how fucking the video's going. So, sorry, I just had to get that out. So, as always, my Dragon Knight Dragonborn. Overall, my Dragon can't unlike
If you like what you saw, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell, definitely share. We'll help out a lot. And yes, we're still on the road for 20 subscribers. I will definitely try to find a way to do at least some of the journey of a monthly chew with the animation. I know artists that I have looked into. I'll definitely start hooking them up whenever I can, and that way I can get all the ideas out and just do it in different orders. But anyways, farewell for now. I'm checking nice Dragonborn strength in the like. So hopefully you at least enjoy my honest take up here. So as always, farewell for now.